Today I'm going to walk you through replacing spark plugs on the 2013 Honda CR-V. Mine happens to be an EXL. I don't think that really matters. It is a 2.4 liter engine. I'll walk you through those steps. We'll start with these 4 bolts. There's one tucked in here, 2, 3, 4. So you get this cover off for it. It's going to expose the coil on plugs. One, 2, 3, 4 coils. Okay, underneath that is the plugs. So now we want to unplug these. I'm gonna need to get a pick tool. I'll show you a close-up of what that looks like. So here's that close-up of that plug. I'm gonna use a pick tool here to help release this clip, because it's actually, you leave from this side, this is actually the retaining clip here. So I'm gonna press down on this, okay, but I'm also gonna need to release this. You see how that's lifting up a little bit? That's how that's going to have to come off. You just repeat that for the other 3. This bolt will come out on each of them, and then you have access to the spark plugs underneath. You just pull those straight out. Then I like to keep them lined up in the same order they came out. There's probably no good reason for that on this engine, other than I'm just a little bit OCD about things sometimes. Okay, so now we'll talk about the spark plugs I chose. I chose this number, NGK Laser Iridium. That's the part number. That is because that is the part number, the first part number that's listed in the Honda's owner's manual. So I got 4 of those. Those are kind of pricey. I think I paid $15 each for those things. But on this car, they're not spec'd out to be replaced until 100,000 miles. My car has about 91,000 on it right now, so I'm just going to get ahead of it a little bit. So in order to remove and replace the spark plugs, you need a spark plug socket. This is a 5/8 inch spark plug socket. The reason why you wouldn't want to use just a regular 5/8 inch socket is because there's actually a rubber, call it like a retainer, in here that actually grips this spark plug when you put a spark plug in there. So it actually has some tension on that, right? And you can pull it out with your fingers, but there's a little bit of drag there. So what that helps you do is that helps you keep it aligned and sort of held when you put it in. But it also, when you turn out the old ones, it holds the old spark plug for you. You can pull it out completely. So that's what we're working with. I'll go pull out the 4, put these 4 new ones in, and then I'll reverse the disassembly procedure of that shroud on top like I showed you. So I can give you a comparison now. On the right is the 90,000 mile spark plug. On the left, of course, is the brand new spark plug. There's some wear there. I'm not really an expert at reading spark plugs, to tell you the truth. But that's just what mine look like at about 90,000 miles. So an important part of working on spark plugs is keeping this extension and socket straight on the plug. You can't really come at it at an angle at all, because what ends up happening is you end up risking the breakage of the ceramic, right? So you want to make sure that it's straight on. You can't have it angled at all. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I did use the NGK Laser Iridiums. Those are the part numbers. That's the part number on the NGK. I found that in the owner's manual. That part number matches this line here in the owner's manual. In fact, what was actually in the vehicle, I found out, was the Densos, that part number. That's these here. That part number matches what was actually in the car. It's always a good idea to replace spark plugs with what's actually in the vehicle. or something that you know for sure is approved. Believe it or not, they do have engineers that design these things and decide exactly what type of spark plug is needed for the engine to run at its best, whether it's best horsepower or best economy, or a mixture of both. And that's what allows these plugs to last, nowadays up to 100,000 miles. So there it is. Thank you.